What if I told you you've been chasing your purpose in life the wrong way? We were all taught to follow our dreams, to chase what we want, to build a life around our desires. The cars, the money, the mansions, the fame. But what if this pursuit is the very thing keeping you from the path that was always meant for you? But what if the road your soul is meant to walk was carved long before you were born, and chasing what you think you want actually blinds you from it? This is the very question that changed my life's trajectory. And that is the premise behind a book that pierced straight through me. And that is The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. Michael says there's a voice in all of us that never shuts up. It tells you what you like, what you don't like, what you need to feel safe, what you should avoid, and what you should chase. And most of us call that voice me, but what if it's actually not? Michael spent years watching that voice, questioning it, until one moment changed everything. He was sitting alone with a friend in silence, and in that silence, everything became really uncomfortable. He saw his mind searching for something to say, and he realized he wasn't the one searching, he was the one watching it. And in that moment, he saw it clearly. My thoughts aren't me. My emotions aren't me. They're just passing clouds, and I am the open sky. I am not that voice, he realized. I am the one who hears it. And that single insight rearranged his entire life. He saw the trap, and every time he obeyed what he liked or feared, he was handing control of his life to the very thing that caused his suffering. So he made a vow. He would stop living by preference, stop asking, what do I want? And instead, he would say yes to life. Whatever opportunity or experience presented itself, he would say yes to it. And he called this the Surrender Experiment. At this point in his life, all he wanted was silence. So he bought a piece of land in Gainesville just to meditate in peace. But life had other plans. People started showing up, and some people even built homes on his land without asking. Anyone else would have kicked him out, but he remembered the experiment that he accepted. And so, he said yes to this. And over time, that land became the temple of the universe. Then a friend asked him to help him with a small medical software project. And the inner voice protested. I'm not a businessman. I don't care about money. I just want peace. But he knew the rules. So again, he said yes. That project was Medical Manager, which later merged in what we know today as WebMD. He wasn't chasing success, he just stopped saying no, and that's when life carried him. When I finished this book, I didn't want to just reflect on it, I wanted to embody it, so I started my own surrender experiment. There's no guarantees of this being successful, but I chose surrender. Not because I thought it was easy, but because I believed the universe had another path for me. And when I took that step, the path appeared. I created my own clothing brand, and not just as a business, but as an expression of my soul. I embraced a title I used to run from. I started this YouTube channel not because I was ready, but because the next step had arrived. And I've grown tired of waiting to put myself out there. The numbers are small now, and the outcome is uncertain, but I'm not gonna wait any longer to live my life. So I said yes to the path. So now I ask you, are you willing to surrender to the path life already wrote for you? Do you feel like you're walking it now? Do you get up every morning getting ready for work and think to yourself that you've made it and that you actually are doing what you love in life? Because once you enjoy what you're doing so much, you just know you're on the right path, and making money is literally just a bonus. Here's what I have learned. We're told you can be anything you want in life, but I actually don't think this is true. You can only become what you are meant to become. There's only a path you can walk, a rhythm only your soul knows. And when you chase a life that isn't yours, you will feel the dread of what you are doing, the inner knowing that you are not where you're supposed to be in life. What's not meant for you will begin to fall away, so what is meant for you can rise. You can fight against a river trying to swim upstream, or you can let go and surrender to what life has already had in store for you, and you find that flow state, and finally become who you truly are, and not who they told you to be. So the question becomes, how do you find this path? It begins with the feeling, a quiet thought in stillness, a pull towards something you may have never considered until suddenly an opportunity arises, and you'll know deep down in your heart, this is it, and you have to take it. It may or may not be obvious to you, but that's kind of the beauty of discovering it. There's a quote by Alan Watts I always love to reflect on when finding the right path. What would you do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? It's a quite simple quote, but really can help you understand your true path. If money were no object, and you actually had the time to do what you wanted, what would that be? And that path could be very well what your true path is, and only you will know based on how it makes you feel. So begin your own surrender experiment, because if the universe was intelligent enough to sustain life for millions of years in perfect harmony, I think it knows how to build a perfect life for you. All you have to do is surrender.